Hello and welcome to the instructional video to use the Cathi and Willi catheterization trainers from the Center for Interprofessional Clinical Simulation Learning. So these are the Cathi and Willi catheterization training set, which as you can see comes with a female anatomy and male anatomy catheterization trainer. The male anatomy trainer does have a simulated foreskin on it, which actually can just be removed just by being pulled off if you don't want it on there for your training sessions. These trainers are quite small and portable. They come in this mold, this plastic mold. So you can set them up on a stretcher, on a table, pretty much anywhere. Or if you're keen to increase the fidelity of your simulation, you can actually pull these right out of the plastic mold like so, and sit them in between the legs of a mannequin. It increases the fidelity of that. So if you wanted to have a full simulation where they catheterized in it, you can put these in between the legs of the mannequin. And both of these trainers come attached to a simulated bladder right here that will fill up with liquid for the procedure. So once you have your, and just a heads up that there's no food or drink or ink near these ones. Ink especially will tattoo the skin and will not come off of the trainer. So just really important that we don't have any of those materials near them. Once you have them set up and ready to go, the first step is to fill up the simulated bladder. We do this by priming a bag. You can use any fluid, normal saline or others. We refill 1 liter bags with tap water at the sim center. That works just as well too. But essentially, I would recommend a 500 to 1000 ml bag just so you have lots of fluid hooked up to IV tubing with a lure lock. And right at the back of the trainer here, I'll just move this so you can see. There are 2 ports here. One has a white cap on it and one's just an open lure lock. You're going to attach the lure lock of the bag here. Make sure that there's no bends or kinks in the line so the flow works well. And to fill it up, I would recommend loosening this white cap here. It helps to prevent airlocks from it. I've pre-primed these already, so they're already going to be full, but what you would do is open up your line there and fill it until fluid comes out of the second one, stop it, and then replace the white cap. And so you do that with both of them and have them each connected to a bag of fluid and a line. And you want to leave those connected for the procedure itself so that you can get flow during the procedure from there. So I'm actually just going to use the male anatomy one. So I'll hook that one up here. Now these catheterization trainers have given us a few problems with the simulated sphincter that are in them. We find that after several uses, the simulated sphincter can be a little difficult to insert in when the water comes back and forth. If you're finding problems with insertion with it, something that's helped me before is to take a towel and actually dry the trainer a little bit and then come back at it afterwards and replace where the water was with a little bit more of the simulated lubricant. We can't use hospital lubricant with these trainers. You do have to use a sim lubricant, which will be provided when you get them. I'm not going to focus on the aspects of the clinical procedure here. I'm just showing you how to set the test trainer. So I'm not going to be using sterile technique or any of the other supplies, but I'll just show you a couple things. So we want to use a 14 French catheter. That's the recommended size from the manufacturer. And other sizes don't insert it as well and can cause damage to the trainers. I would recommend pre-lubricating the trainer itself. That does help a little bit. So just spraying a little bit of lubricant at the insertion sites and lots and lots and lots of lube on your 14 French catheter. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I have my trainer here. I have the bag hooked up and I have the clamp, just to ensure I have the clamps open. The female trainer is pretty straightforward. It's just a straight insertion in. The male anatomy trainer can be a little tricky. Our procedural recommendation is to hold the penis perpendicular upon insertion, which is fine, but sometimes once this catheter is in, you don't get flashback if it's held at too drastic of an angle. You actually have to relax it down a little bit, and that helps to provide return of the fluid. So you may need to provide that preview to your participants before they start. So everything's been lubricated here, and I haven't been inserting this a lot. So there's not a lot of water, it's just mostly lubricant. I'm just going to insert it in. You sometimes do get quite a sticky feeling when you get to that simulated bladder, but I actually managed it okay there. And when I relax this, you can see I've got fluid coming out, so you get flashback there. So I'm just going to remove that now. And I'll hook up the female catheterization trainer. You can just have 2 bags going so you don't have to switch back and forth each time. So same thing, I hooked up the lure lock. I'm just going to unclamp this one here and show you the female one. There is a simulated hole for the vaginal opening as well, so that you can go through that with your learners. I find the sphincter on the female one can be a little tricky. It's going to insert. But as you can see, because this one hasn't been used a lot, I'm now getting flashback here, goes in pretty easily, and you can follow that a few times. So if you have done a couple insertions and you're finding that it's not going in as easily or it's starting to stick a little bit, that would be my recommendation, is just to take some paper towel, actually works really well, and dry in and around the urethral openings of the trainer, and then add some more of that lubricant to it. Just ensure that you have primed that bladder properly and that you still have a line hooked up to it and that that line is open and ready to go. And you'll be able to use your catheterization trainers. All of our trainers do come with a task trainer care and maintenance guide, which also highlights all of this information. If you have any questions, you can email cecil@vhod.ca. Your task trainers will also come with observation tools, which go over expected behaviors in male anatomy and female anatomy catheterization. Thank you for watching.